All righty, Doc here from North America. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Well, it is TGIF, thank goodness. It's Friday, end of the week. Truly an entertaining week. You know, markets did their thing very well. Equity markets were definitely on the move. You can see retail sales down 0.2. Total retail sales down. Let's get that going. Total retail sales down. Let's see, where is it at? Right there. Let's take a look at the stock market real quick, and then we'll go back to the currency market. There is the stocks. They, a little more strength as that news came out. They've been kind of. I guess you could see right here since yesterday, they've made a low in the mid to low 50s. That's 4,550 and change, and here we are challenging the 80 area, and now we're in the 82s, and before you know it, we'll be back up over the 600s and so forth and so on. At the same time, we see stories about how bad the hedge funds are doing. They're just having incredibly horrible years. They can't outperform the indices. Their shorts are not performing. I got an email from a friend, follows the fundamentals, where that takes you to, but follows the fundamentals, and he's like, well, what do you think of this recession thing? He's always asking me about, he tells me what, like JPM or Morgan Stanley or Goldman, what they're talking about, and I goes, well, what do you think's going on with that? And I'm like, we were in a recession a year and a half ago for 6 months, 2 quarters of negative growth. And the media refused to accept that it was a recession. I said, this is the recovery from it. That's all. So we're in the recovery. And I think that's the best way to really take the economy, at heart, what to value it at. And I guess in some ways, if we go back, let's just take a look at the dollar index going back to 2022. You see here, I guess it was the January or February of 22, we had 2 negative quarters of growth. Right, I guess it's like right here, right? And so the dollar went flying up. I guess anticipation and inflation combined together with the 2 quarters of recession, which the media refused to call a recession. The White House referred to it as it's not a recession because we don't call it a recession. And you can see where it's gone from there. The dollar has fallen all the way down since that time period, basically. So that's 6 months of the recession. Now, let's look that up. Let me look that up and see if we can get it. When's the last time we had 2 quarters of negative GDP? Ooh, take that too at the same time. Excellent, let's see, where's it at? Let's just take a look at that. Hey, Robin. Oh, let me put the chat line up. I just saw what you sent over in the email. My emails are spotty, but they're there. That's as good as I can get. All right, okay, let's see. Where's that at again? Let's go to the chat line again. And there we go. It's loading up. Let's see what the chat line says. Oh, right there. Okay, I see Robin. I see George. Hey, George, how you doing? And and I see. Thank you. What I saw come over the email. That's good. Now let's look and see. When's the last time we had 2 negative quarters of GDP? Negative quarters of GDP. Let's see. Here's what 2 quarters of negative GDP mean. Not that. U.S. economy had second quarter and negative growth in July of 22. Okay, so negative second quarter of negative growth. Economy shrank 0.6 of final GDP in September. Okay, so right here at the top of this market was 2 quarters right here in this thrust. This is where the inflation is going through the roof. It's up to around 10%, and Biden is referring to it as transitory. Yeah, actually 20. No, it wasn't until July, right? July of 22. Yeah. So wasn't it? It wasn't until here that the Federal Reserve, the Treasury Secretary, Mrs. Yellen, and the President said, "Okay, yeah, we have inflation." After the dollar went roaring from, this is when he got into office. Where's it at? He got into office here, and inflation took off. It was at 1.4 on the last administration. So right there is where we had 2 quarters of negative GDP. Okay, and you can see what happened after that. The dollar started to sell down because that meant the American economy is slowing down. And that's what they want on the inflation. They want this, basically this matches the inflation constantly. The dollar reflects it. When inflation's high in the United States, the dollar goes up really big, and when it starts to back off, it's coming down. Now it just needs to get back down to, something like the 96 or 97. Get into this area here, which would be the first quarter of Mr. Biden's presidency. So when we see the dollar down to here, I'd imagine that will reflect inflation. Kind of Kaputski. Kaputski. There we go. So. From there, let's go back over to both J4X and the dollar index. And there's the dollar index. And it's basically like looking at an inflation index. Matter of fact, I bet we could get a chart on inflation and you match it up to the other, and it's like it probably reflects it. Let's do that. An inflation chart. How about a weekly inflation chart? Consumer price index for all urban. Let's see what that does. Okay, no, that's not it. Let's see what this one does. All right, so here's something that's kind of interesting. There you go. You can see here the 8.5 inflation of July of 22, and you can see how it's down. They have it marked as down to 3% now. This is what is this? This is United States inflation trading economics calendar. I don't know who they are, but at least it's a chart. So we thought it was a 10 and change. This shows only at 8.5. This is a 1 year. Let's go to 5 year. There we go. So there's the 5 year, and at least it kind of gives us that flavor, This is 2020. This is when Mr. Biden took over. You can see the inflation taking off. Can you see that mouse? I don't know if you can see that mouse. Oh, here we go. We'll go like that. And so you can see here Mr. Biden becomes president right there, and inflation takes off. And now, it's... So when you look at the dollar index over here, it looks pretty much the same way. If we go like that. Can we do that better? Let's see, just go like that a little more, and I'll move this over a little bit more like that. There we are. So you can see here that same action, peaking out at the same time, roaring up at the same time. So when you really look at inflation, I don't care if it's that accurate or not, and I don't care who put it out, and they're trying to make it look like it's calming down. Everybody knows what's really happening in the end result. We know that oh, there's that heart again, Robin. I see the heart. Learn more with a heart on the chat line. Okay. Robin was saying he was trying to get rid of the heart yesterday. All right. Yeah, so anyway, that's the action there. Let's go over to the dollar index on Chicago Quant. Right there. You see dollar's been in a buy now 4 days. Over here on J4X, basically the same situation. Let's move it over a little bit more like that again. There you go. See that? It's been moving up. You see the blue line has been well above for 4 or 5 days, like 5 days. It's been showing strength. And we've got now 3 hinkies in a row today included. Same here. We have 4 green dots in a row. So it's, they're both following the same pattern, and so that's where it's at. And I'll tell you this: if we see strength in the dollar over the next 2 or 3 months, that means inflation is going to. And I keep on hearing. I just cut myself in half in the conversation there, but I keep on hearing from analysts and so forth that say that it's only going to sleep. It's going to come back. I'm like, what? And we're going to see what happens in September and October. If we find the dollar index trading at 103 again, we know that it is coming back. Because the dollar index really reflects very well how inflation moves. So, and that's where we are. Now we'll be watching for a weekly buy on our math, and we'll be watching for a weekly buy on J4X. Let's see how it does right now. Yeah, it's down at the low end of the range. You can see that at the 20s. You see the two lines where it kind of usually bounces off those areas and comes back. It's in a finite situation where it only can go up to 100 or down to 0. Alrighty, from there we'll go over to the euro and see what the euro is up to this morning. Let's see, right, euro, right there. So there it is right there. You can see this is the euro, 3 days in a sell. And over here, euro's 4 days in a sell here. You can see the weekly is holding up very well. And I am sure the weekly is holding up very well over here on J4X, like that, right there. Right there, right now. See, nice and strong. All right, from there we'll slide over to GBP dollar. I wanted to say JPY. We will look at that. We find that very interesting to watch. The cable has dipped underneath the dollar as being the second weakest now, and the euro is the strongest. It goes euro, dollar, and now cable. It's flipping, flip-diddy-doo-dah. Here's cable. And there's cable there. You see cable is flirting. Look at it. It's at 0.00058. It's flirting on the edge of a weekly sell. Ooh, they're really punishing that thing. And then, can we move that? We got away with that a couple of days ago. We got it moved. Choose the indicator, remove indicator, copy indicator. What's that one do? It doesn't really do it, does it? Okay. So, you see, that's cable AUD. We want cable dollar right there. And there's the weekly. Is that the weekly? Yeah, that's the weekly. So you can see the blue line has broken down. It's way up above the range. It's starting to roll over. And all we're now waiting for is, see how we're that close. We're like inches away. And by looking at it on the weekly on J4X, you see the same thing. It's trying to roll over. There we go. And then let's go over to the daily. Right there. And you see the daily's pressing down also. And then, what else can we say about that? I guess, maybe it'll go support this 26 area. I don't know. They're playing with the top of the 28 area right now. So we'll see if they bounce around there. And if this is some type of read on inflation, we'll know it because the dollar will keep on strengthening. It's definitely, I didn't think this correction was going to be that much of a correction, and they gave it a smack-a-doodle right there. And so the last time it did a smack-a-doodle like that on the downside, it bottomed out. Here we've made two more lows. Here it did one more low and then lifted right back up again. So we're watching this very closely. And now this is really starting to, basically sound the alarm. It's like, woo, next week we could be actually underneath the weekly. All right. From the cable, we go to the Swiss. Swiss is bouncing. Boy, they threw that into the daily buy yesterday. I was surprised. It was holding up so well. And then, slam. Let's see. Bang. I'm going to steal a buy from one of these. Let's take that buy right there. Let's go further back. Let's grab that buy. So I'm going to put that right there. And move that over like so. And we went into the buy there yesterday. It's a little low. It's a little underneath it today. I don't think it took out the high yesterday. The high was 86.84.5. Today's high is 86.72.7. So not 85 or 86.84. So 77 instead. 72. So it's about 13 ticks underneath so far. The weekly looks very comfortable where it's at. We're seeing just some stabilization of the sell, not a bounce. It's a kitty cat bounce. Maybe. That's what we're thinking, a kitty cat bounce. Dead cat bounce. All right. And then let's take a look at it on the weekly here. There's the weekly. And it's still hanging, but way, way down on the range. So maybe we'll see a little bounce out of it. You can see both here on Chicago Quant, they're trying to turn. Then, where else? Then, let's go to let's see, where are we going to now? From there we go to the yen, dollar yen. There's dollar yen and a buy for 5 days. The weekly is, it's there. Maybe it's next week's work, as they would say in the hedge fund industry. And let's check it out over here. Dollar yen, right there. And that's the weekly, the same way on the downside. And let's check out the daily. You see that 3 days in a buy. The line has been turned up for like 5 or 6, and now we're same thing here. We've been for 5 days in a buy, and it's pushing up, so it's protected you from that bounce. This warned you, this confirmed it, and you wouldn't be losing that right from here up to there on J4X. Okay, now from there we go and see who's stronger. And so there is the dollar. We believe that the euro yen right there is even stronger. Look at that, in a buy for 6 days. Let's see how it is over here. Remember, as it rises, it's losing against the euro. And let's see what it looks like over here. There it is, euro yen. And we have 6 days here in a buy. Same thing. And the weekly is still very firm, even with the fast underneath the zero line. But it's still, in that buy. I would assume we are red on the weekly at this point here. Okay, so last week was a red, and now it's back in the buy. All right, so yeah, it was trying, it follows. That's why we've made the line blue, because it follows. See how last week our blue line went underneath into the minus, and so did it on J4X. And the slow is kind of, as it is called, slow. It's just kind of cruising along. Cruising for a bruising. Cruising for a bruising. All right, now let's go check out GBP JPY right there. You can see second week in a sell. Let's see where it is right here. All right, there it is. And the daily is trying to turn up. We got a green and a red. And you can see the weekly here is rolled over on the slow now. And the fast has been there on the second week, just like J4X here. Now let's check out the daily. And there's the daily. And you can see it's trying to turn up. We're just waiting for the blue line to get through. And we're waiting here for the red to disappear on that red dot and just go green. And it'll be telling you that they're trying to charge up. But at the same time, our weekly is trying to roll over. So it's going to really keep us in that neutral stance. Hooray for us. Okay, now, let's see. From there, let's see. We go over to, I think it's Turkish lira. Let's see. Yeah, Turkish lira right there. And made a new high from yesterday, but it is not an all-time high, and it's in a daily sell for a second day. But our weekly is wrong spot. But our weekly is still, so high up. So there's not much nervousness here. Now there was the buy. How come we don't have a buy? Let's find a green to put it in there. Let's steal this green. Stick it right there. I'll stick it right there. There's a buy. Let's steal another one. There's a buy. Let's steal that one. There we go. Like that. And then we'll move it over and put them up on the screen. Grab that and move it over to. There's a buy there. Then it went into a sell. And then it collapsed the next day after the sell. And then there's our buy there. And we just need a buy for that. We're going to make one then. So it goes into the buy on this one. It pops up and makes all-time highs the next day. Can't make this stuff up, It's real and it's in front of us. And that is it. That's where we're at now with the Turkey lira. And let's see, what is it doing here? Let's see what the weekly looks like. But it's a sea of green. A sea of green. Oh, look at that. No, that's the wrong product. Turkish lira, euro, Turkish lira, euro, Turkish lira. Where's TR1? Oh, there it is, right there. So it's going to be a sea of green on the weekly. And then let's take a look at it on the daily. Right, cha. And that is the Turkish lira. It doesn't let go. It just keeps on climbing, climbing, climbing. Even when it dropped underneath this, didn't give you a sell. Put you more into a neutral. And then when it turns back up, it'll be a buy again. So you can see all this up and down, up and down, up and down. It cuts it out here. It's like stay. I guess it went into a buy here. And no, did it? Or did it not? So let's see if we can get the price tag there. Let's make it big. 91.67 versus 72. That doesn't seem to make sense. 92. I can't tell. I wonder if we raise it up. Okay, it's not. It's not. Alright, so it never got into the buy there. Snot. Alright, and that's the Turkish lira. I guess you could say that in the beginning of the week, the former Prime Minister, now President Erdogan, who's stewarded this currency from 1 to 31 was in Saudi Arabia, and they were on Monday, trying to negotiate something. And you can see here on Wednesday, it made it on Monday it was there, Tuesday it was all-time highs, Wednesday all-time highs, and now we've been stalled, higher for the week, but stalled, and it's not taking out the all-time highs. So there you go. All right, now from the Turkish lira, we will slide over to the number one peso in the world, and that is the Mexican peso. And as we showed you yesterday, Mr. Putin has decided not to show up at the BRIC meeting so he doesn't force the country to arrest him. And there's Mexican peso. The last couple of days, it's been firming up. You can see here it's in a daily buy for 2 days now. And the weekly is trying to make a little action to the upside. We'll see how that goes over the next week. Both the slow and the fast have broken the manifold on the minus side, trying to drive to the zero line. Over here, we will check it out and put the Mexican peso there. And this is King Brick, as we call it. There's dollar Mexican peso. And the dollar seems to be picking up steam against everything, even the major brick. And then when we go over to, where's it at? Right here. Here is the South African Rand, the second biggest brick in the brick index. You see it's forced itself into the buy so far today. We'll see how that goes. The slow has broken the manifold, but the fast has not. And it's been sideways down. It was down and sideways down and sideways, and now it's trying to perk up with a new high. It's a 3-day high. And it's taken out 3 days of highs. And we'll see how that treats it over the next couple of days. But we go over to Chicago. Where do we go to? We go to J4X. And we'll put gold in there. There's gold. And gold is trying to dip down a little bit. You can see the pressure that's been on it. You couldn't be riding it on the long on this because of the lines that rolled over. And over here on Chicago Quant, let's see, right there, let's get it. And it's trying to dip down. It was down yesterday, made a new low from the day before, and closed lower, a 3-day low. Now it's challenging a 4-day close as we speak. You see it pushed into the sell yesterday. Our weekly is holding on by 24 cents. 20 cents. 20 cents. Let's see if it changes again. 16 cents. See it right there? It's just checked back to 20. And you can see it's right on the edge of the line to get into that weekly buy. It tried. It's been in that daily buy. Where's it at? Let's move this back over. It was right there. The weekly buy, daily buy, it started off here in the 1930s, 40s area. And it roared all the way up to the 1990 area. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 9 days in a buy, and then the 10th day it fell into the sell. And we thought, wow, fast was way over the manifold. The slow would not join in. We kept on waiting for it to join in. We thought, okay, well, it's in a daily buy. So obviously you're not short from down here in the 1930s. Because we'd gone into, let's see what we do. We went to a buy there. And then it pushed up for a couple of days and then went into a sell. And then it flipped. That was a loss. We lose on that one. And then, so then you're flat the rest of the way on the way up, or you're hedged on the way up so that you don't lose as it rises. One or the other. Take your choice. Either way, we gave up what we made here. We gave up right there. And then it wouldn't let us be long this rally because it couldn't join in. It wasn't joining in very well. So we've been kind of watching it, and now we're trying to roll over, and they were at 12. Oh, 4. It just ticked 12, 4, 8. They're still pressuring it. Look at that. Now there's 4. Are we going to see this thing go minus in this webinar? Possibly so. 04 is the low now. Now it's 12. So that pressure is on. We're seeing the dollar firming up. We're seeing the BRICS losing strength. Unfortunately, we can only see 2 of the major BRICS, the Mexican peso and the South African rand. The others are pretty much dysfunctional currencies. The rupee is pretty decent, but the rupee is talking about, the Indian rupee, they're talking about moving out of the BRIC. So when someone says they're going to move out of the BRIC, I can't call them a BRIC anymore. But if they say they want to go into the BRIC or they're in the BRIC, I can say, geez, they're going to be a BRIC. And so that's where we're at now. Oh, look at that, 12.16 now. A little bouncing back up. All right, now from there we go over to the Canadian, because we were looking at the South African rand. That's what we do with gold, you know. Is that right there? No, let's see. That's it right there. So right there, there's the South African rand trying to lift up, not doing too good a job at it. Just like the, which is interesting is that Mexican peso went into the buy yesterday and is lifting up even more today. All right, now from there we slide over to Canada and we look at the oil market, and then we'll go into the oil market from there. So you can see here oil has been going down in price last couple of days. It's been trying to lift. You can see that right there. There's CAD trying to, usually the CAD goes up when it's going down. So let's take a look at the oil market over on J4X to start off with. Right there. You see oil has been trying to get up for the last couple of days, and it has been getting up a couple bucks here and there. And at the same time, let's look at it right here. There's a September contract, and you see it made it a high here, like a 4-day high, and then it sold off and made a low from the day before, and then tried to lift back up today. It's trying to get up again, and the Canadian is trying, went down there, which makes sense, and then it's trying to, it gains against the dollar, and that's when it's going down. It's gaining against the dollar, and so it's trying to gain, but it's not doing too good a job at it. Now let's just take a look at, let's see. Oh, I think that the contract has expired too. Let's see how that played out. Let's see. What am I looking for again here? I am looking for the. I'm having a Joe Biden moment. Let's see. I was looking at. I know it'll come back to me once I look at it again. There's the CAD. Oh yes, we wanted to go to the back month oil. That's what it is. So there's from. Oh, and I know what I was looking for. I was looking for. Did the August contract expire yesterday? That's what I was looking for. I am multitasking much more than Joe. So when I have a Joe Biden moment, it's because I'm actually thinking about 3 or 4 major things at once, trying to answer all 3 things or 4 things at once. All right, let's see what it shows here. Yes, August oil expired yesterday. Now the full official front month is September. And that's the Sept oil right there. And you can see it. It's trading at 76.39. And then we go back and look at November oil right there, and it's trading at 75.80. So, we're talking. That's a lot of premium. They really, what was that, like 70 cents. It's jumped, from 25 to 30 to 35, cents really quick. So, they're let me just show you again. 75.75 on one and 76.33 on the other. So that's 53 cents now. So it's got a 53 cent premium. They seem to be picking up premium every day. It seems like 5 or 10 cents. So we've gone from the 20s, we've gone from minus now to plus, And it's the delivery thing. You know, when the front month is lifting like that, obviously they want to take delivery. All right. So from there, that's the oil action. And what we're going to do is we're going to throw Brent up on J4X now, like so, right there. You see Brent is hanging around the 80 area for the last bunch of days, 5 days now, something like that, 6 days. And you can see it's trying to bounce back up. We've got a green again after a red, then a green, and a red, and a green. Or you could say red, red, green, maybe another green to come on that daily. And you can see over here, been in a weekly buy for like 4 weeks. Now, let me show you, let's see, what's that? That is, check out this. I think I saw this yesterday. I didn't mention it. Look at the November contract. It's been in a weekly buy for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is its 9th week in a weekly buy from the 68 area, or 70 area, I guess you could say. It was this week in here. So it was like 70. And it's gotten as high as 76. And it's gone as low as 67. So it's almost like a rotisserie in a sense. It's gone as low as it's gone high. And each daily buy has been a winner. Let's see. First one was here. Great buy, win. Great buy, win. Great buy, win. Great buy, win. And great buy, sloppy. It closed there at 74.96. The next day's high was almost 76. It was 75.70. It went up over $1. And now it's up into the 76s. So, you know, it's been an interesting thing. The back month is, you know, and that's why we follow a 3-month back month. You know, we go September, October into November. We try to see what 3 months back looks like. You know, what's the money, the longer term money thinking? And that's what you can see it right there. That's what the longer term money is saying. It's saying, hey, we're not giving you this stuff for cheap. We don't want, you can't have this cheap. Mumbler in chief. They're calling Biden today Mumbler in chief. Alrighty. So that is the oil contract. From there, we'll slide over to natural gas. There is natural gas. The August contract still trading for a couple more days. And you can see that strength there. And you can see the weekly is flirting again with that sell today. Keeps on vacillating up and down, up and down. But it stays in there. And let's put it up over here. On J4X, you see, there it is right there. It's 4 days in a buy, just like us here, 4 days in a buy. Let's see what that weekly looks like. I'm sure it's trying to go red too. It's been red for a couple weeks. Now it's trying to go green, just as we're starting to go red. Interesting, very interesting. Boris and Natasha. All right. Let's check out the last of the energy side here in conversation. And that is, we will go over to, let's put it up as a daily too. We will go over to Spain and look at the energy company there that trades a lot of natural gas, and the stock trades locked to the natural gas price. Right there. And you can see here it's trading in the 27s. It's picked up another 35 cents. Keeps on, or 35 whatever's, euro, pips, ticks, you know, pennies, pences. I don't know what they call it. €1 is $1. Is there 100 euro in it? 100 somethings, 50 somethings, 20 somethings? I don't know. So you can see here. Anybody know what a euro coin looks like? You know, breaking a do they trade anything over there? Sell anything for under a €1? And so, or they just round things out. Okay, it's 1.2 euros, so give us 2 euros. It's 5 euros, 0.4, give us 6 euros. We're going to round it up. That's the way they do math in Europe, I heard. All right, when in doubt, tax. Yeah. You're breathing? Tax you. All right. So there's the nat gas. It's been moving up, and the weekly is flirting with a sell. So it's got that mixed emotion thing going on, but not in Europe, making higher highs. Ooh. Okay, so from there we go back to the metals complex, and we go look at Mr. and Mrs. Silver. There's a silver on a second day on the sell. Our weekly is still holding up fairly well. It's 2 full weeks and a weekly buy, looking like it will hold it. Let's put it up over here. There's the gold again, like that, showing the weakness. And then let's put the silver in there, right there. There's the silver, showing weakness today also, burying itself on the lines. And then let's take a look at it on the weekly. I'm sure we got green, green, green. Green, green, green. See that? Just like here. Green, green, green. All right. So now. Hey now. All right. That is the, what is that? That is the silver. So from silver, we're going to go to copper. And there is copper. That's the weekly. Let's put it up over here. Over here. Over there. The Yanks are coming. All right, there's the copper. You can see right there, it's selling down and sloppily, not really going anywhere. After that one day of pouncing, it's kind of chilled, you know. And see what the daily looks like here. There's the daily. And that's 5. Is that 5? Yeah, that's 5 days in the sell. Just like us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sounds like the Beatles. 1, 2. All right. And so, but look at it. It's not going anywhere. And it doesn't seem to want to let go. They're showing that video where the Democrats really beat up RFK Jr. Oh my God. It was really weird. They tried to shut him up. They talked over him. They wouldn't let him talk in a testimony in Congress. That was the weirdest thing. Well, no, I guess not for Democrats. That's not weird at all. All right, and then let's go over to the platinum. This needs some fixing, of course. Okay, let's take a look at it. All right, so what am I looking for here? Platinum. So let me put the platinum up on there. There is the October platinum. And let's fix this. We're going to do it right in front of you. Quote manager. Do I have that in the platform, Robin? Do we have platinum in there for you? We'll throw it in there this morning. I think we do. Wonder what it looks like. I got to get the platform up on this machine so we can take a look at it. I think I might put it up over on that machine so we can just go right into the screen share and not have to look this away. Let's see, where am I at? Platinum. PLV. Edit. Let's see, right here. So let's see, on the 19th. Okay, so there was the 19th. Oh, we got to fix this even more. Maybe it'll straighten it out itself when I do this. All right, go like that. There we go. That straightened it out. Wow. So we're on the second day of the sell. It's been drifting down for 3 days now. It's kind of stalled out at this point. And the weekly has drifted back underneath. That's why we don't have the little circle there anymore. So we're seeing the platinum just not getting any legs whatsoever. That's right. I put that. You have platinum on there, don't you? Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was thunking that. Yep, I was thunking that. So, did I say that? I looked over on the wrong screen. There we go. Yes. So, is it 3 days in a cell there? Or 2 days in a cell there, or is it 3 days in a cell? Just curious. I'm going to try to reset up mine today, too. I had too many wars to fight yesterday. We're going to get that new platform up on the screen here over the weekend, definitely. So we can start using it more. Because it sometimes tells you the truth better, because that doesn't have to be fixed like ours has to be fixed at times. Ours is too much of a Cadillac, I guess you could call it, or a Ferrari. It has too many inputs, and it messes with some of the data feeds at times. So you're getting different data feeds. So, all right, from there, that finishes off the metals complex. That's what that does. So let's take a look at yesterday's action in the stock market. It was interesting. Here's the S&P 500. They sold that down, I guess, about 25, about 30 handles. So it settled at 96.75 the day before, and then yesterday it settled at 66. So it's a 30 handle drop. Then let's put, you can see it's up today. Wait a minute. Okay, now it was in a sell this morning, not anymore. It's lifting so strong now at 87 that it's pushed itself back into almost trying to make it into the sell, but it still has a red dot. Now let's take a look at the NQs. Oh, let's do this. Let's put it over here on J4X too. Is it in a 2-day sell or a 3-day sell? I'm just curious. Let's see. Where am I going here? Oh, I'm going to the S&P, so let's find the S&Ps here. There's the S&P. You can see as much as they sold it down, it still stayed green. The lines have drifted though, that's all. Now, check out this one. Here is the NQs. Now that's settled at 1,500. It's 3 times greater than the S&P, of course, even more. 15,939. Is that what it was, or 38? Let me just check. The settlement was 939. Okay, and then it's closed yesterday at. It closed at 596. So almost like 400 points down, 379 points down. And then, you see it's coming back today. And then let's take a look at the Dow Jones Industrial Average. That was up 100 and some odd points. See? It was up 100 and almost 200 points for the day. And so that was the Magnificent Seven I was talking to Robin about yesterday that were putting pressure onto the NASDAQ. And matter of fact, Netflix and the top 7 stocks represent just a little less than 60% of the price action. So 7 stocks move 59.8% of the index, almost 60% of the index. And so 2 of the stocks, Netflix and Tesla, were down about 60 points together or something like that, $60. Which is a lot. Like one was down 30 something, the other one was down like 20 something, and it was like over $60 down, and it really put pressure onto the rest of the NASDAQ because of that. All right. So, and then let's take a look at the most speculative of all the products, and we'll get out of here. And that is the Russell 2000 right there. It's been playing around with the 2000 area. Made the 2000 area yesterday and the day before, and today the high is 80, 95. So it's really close. Trying to get through that 2000 area again. Up for the week, very strong. Pretty much all but the Nasdaq are up for the week, pretty strong. As you can see, the S&Ps, started off here, and they're up in here. Not bad. And then the the only one it's not really is the NQs, right there. It started off the week here. It's down for the week. Who knows? It might battle its way back to the let's see what that number is. The settlement is 826. That's a lot of work, but it needs 120 some odd more points up. And right now the index is up. How much is it up now? It's up 108 now, so it'd be like a 220 point day up. So it's gonna have to do a little bit more work, to get going there. But anything's possible. You never know. All right, traders, we're out of here. Everybody have a safe and smart weekend. And we will catch you on TGIM, which will be, thank goodness, it's Monday. So, this is Doc saying, happy trails to you, to all our trading friends. Happy trails to you. Must have messed that song up. Happy trails to you. I forgot the rest of the song. I'm having a Biden moment again. All right. Later, traders. Be safe, be smart. Let's see. We're going to have to play that song again in my head to get it running right. I'm having these Biden moments. Oh, my goodness. I guess I can't multitask 3 subjects at once. Darn.